getting rid of the ego in Advaita Vedanta. In Advaita Vedanta, the term ego, ahamkara, does not refer to self-confidence or self-identity in a mundane sense, but to the false identification with the body and mind. True spiritual practice does not aim to destroy ego, but to transcend the false ego, ahamkara, and recognize the true self, Atman, which is Brahman, understanding false and real ego. The Bhagavad Gita clarifies that ego, ahamkara, is not to be removed entirely, but purified. False ego is the misidentification of the self with the body and mind, whereas real ego is the awareness of one's true nature as Brahman. False ego means accepting this body as oneself. When one understands that he is not his body and his spirit soul, he comes to his real ego. Ego is there. False ego is condemned, but not real ego. Thus, Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman, is the highest expression of real ego, which arises when the misidentification with the body-mind complex is removed. Methods to transcend the ego. 1. Self-inquiry, Atma Vichara. A. The Upadesa Sahasri states that one must investigate the ego itself. B. Through hearing, reflection, and meditation, one negates the false ego through the method of neti, not this, not this. By negating the ahamkara, one abides in the self. 2. Knowledge of the self. A. Brahman should be regarded as the self on the evidence of the scriptures, just as religious duties are known from the same source. Ignorance vanishes immediately on the attainment of right knowledge. 3. Renouncing doership. A. Ego manifests as the doer, karta, and enjoyer, bhokta. When knowledge arises that Atman is beyond action and enjoyment, the binding effects of ego dissolve. B. Ahamkara alone makes statements like, I am liberated, or I am bound. But Sakshi, pure awareness, neither claims bondage nor liberation. Moksha is simply the negation of the ahamkara's identification with samsara. 4. Understanding the temporary nature of ahamkara. A. Ahamkara is like a wave in the ocean of the self. The wave appears separate, but its essence is water, just as the essence of ahamkara is Atman. 5. The role of sadhana, spiritual practice. A. The Gita explains that one who gives up material desires and ego attains peace. B. One who renounces all desires is without false ego and is free from attachment attains perfect peace. Conclusion. Ego is not something to be forcibly destroyed, but to be understood and transcended. Through Vedantic inquiry, devotion, meditation, and selfless action, one recognizes that the individual I, ahamkara, is only a reflection of the absolute self, Atman. When false identification is dropped, what remains is the ever-present, ever-free awareness, Brahman.